Before we get started with today's video, I definitely want to take some time to thank my friends over at So Avant-Garde. All right, so Avant-Garde is a place where you can go online, type in the website, and you have a plethora of fragrances from the niche world. Now, niches can be intimidating, so sample, and they have those discovery sets as well. Head over there, look around, shop around, and save you some money by using the code DEDRICK20 on anything on So Avant-Garde. And you know, it's definitely something where, you know, if you're ready to elevate your fragrance collection or get into something new or tap into another level as far as quality goes, hey, So Avant-Garde has you covered. All right, so head over there, use DEDRICK20, save anything, get anything over there except mind games. Don't worry. You can head over to mindgames.com and use DEDRICK10 for 10% off anything on mindgames.com. All right, so save you some money, explore, see what you discover, and let me know down below in the comments if you rock with anything. All right, appreciate y'all. Let's get started with today's video. YouTube, what's going on? YouTube, what is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy, one more time, DEDRICKHJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. All right, Smell Good family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic, positive energy, positive vibes. Hopefully everybody out there is doing really, really well for sure. All right, so today we're going to talk some spring date night fragrance recommendations. So, you know, springtime is a trend, you know, the transition out of the cold into more warmer and comfortable, just relaxing type of weather. For the most of us, we get to experience that. But when you're going out on a date night, it could get a little bit more cooler. It could get a little bit more interesting from what those daytime temperatures gave you. So you can kind of float around with a bunch of different scent profiles for a date night during the spring. And that's exactly what we're doing with today's video. So we have eight of them that we're going to be discussing. These are some real good choices in my opinions. And we got a classic in here that no one talks about anymore, but during a springtime date night, I think it will work perfectly. All right, so let's get started. Up first, from the House of Zaharoff, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Signature Rosé. Signature Rosé. This is a unisex fragrance for sure, but fellas, this is a rose fragrance that you don't gotta be afraid of. All right, you have some incense in here. You have some, I believe the note is cane sugar. It gives off a spicy feel with that rose, jammy rose in here. Just a beautiful rose. My favorite rose fragrance in my entire collection. This has a lot of elements of seduction and sex appeal and confidence and just a good time in general. So whether, you know, your date's wearing it or you're wearing it, it could be something for a spring date night that just kind of fit and probably start some conversation or make it memorable for sure. So this is definitely a great option for a spring date night. From the House of Zaharoff, we have Signature Rosé. Great stuff here, man. Great stuff for sure. All right, up next, from the House of Manero. All right, we have Manero's Black Gold. Manero's Black Gold. This is such an interesting scent profile from the house. Lately, it's been either you love it or you don't. For a while, I saw a lot of love for Black Gold, but now I guess as more people come into the fragrance space, there's more opinions. But for me, I love this. I personally view this as, and I've been saying it, take your Acqua di Gio Profumo and put a niche take on that DNA, and this is what you're going to get. Now, does it smell like Profumo? It does not, but it has a lot of the same elements. You get an aquatic feel. There's a freshness here. There's some incensey, smoky tones to it, some woodsy tones to it. There's a lot of different type of notes in this fragrance, man, and it really makes it a remarkable DNA, and something that, if you want to command her attention, fellas, something that's going to keep her on her toes or keep you on her mind even after the date is over, this is something that could definitely lean that way, because you're not going to smell like nothing that she's probably ever, you know, she probably never smelled this on anybody before. So as long as you're put together, obviously groom well, your teeth are clean and all that is good to go, this is something that could help assist in that. So Mancero's Black Gold is definitely a good option, fellas, if you're trying to make a really good first impressions, because you're coming off different and not like everybody else. From the house of Manero, Black Gold is a great springtime date night option for sure. All right, I selected this list based off, you know, evening dinners or evening nights out and nights out for sure. All right, up next, now this one is a little bit harder to find these days, but it has been popping up on discounters, and I think this is a great choice for a spring date night. From the house of Dior, we have Dior Homme, the original 2011 edition. 2011 edition. This is Dior Homme Intense Fresh. Like, they could have called this Dior Homme Intense Fresh. Why is that? Well, you get all your elements of the iris in here. There's a nice mature factor to this, but it's not as serious as the Intense or the Parfum. It's a little bit more of a laid back approach to the profile, and on a springtime date night, this definitely could work. Even if you're doing something casual, you don't have to be all dressed up and buttoned up to wear this. Not this version, but if it's more of something on a casual evening, man, this definitely can work. So all my Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum lovers, if you just so happen to see this floating around on your local discounters, I got this off Joma Shop. I know Joma Shop, some of you have not had the best luck with Joma Shop for this reason or that. But that's where this came from. All right, so great option, a rare finding, smells really good, complimentary for sure. From the house of Dior for spring date night, we have Dior Homme Original 2011. All right, up next, this is just good, and this house doesn't get enough love. It just doesn't. It should, but they just don't. They make some quality stuff. From the house of Bion. All right, we have Bion Eclap the EDP. First off, I love the bottle. That frosted glass, the black cap, the black plate with the gold trimming, really nice. All right. So this grapefruit, kind of like a sparkly grapefruit, has some floral tones to it. A nice musk, and this is so good. It's so good. So picture an early evening date during the spring. Early evening, sun's still up. It might just be going down. Let's say y'all going out sitting on the pier, probably eating some fresh seafood, or just sitting on the water in general, having a nice dinner. This is just one of those ones you could wear in that. You could do a lot with this fragrance. I preferably wear this to the office, but in a setting like that, I definitely be tempted, or might even wear on the next time me and my wife go out on a spring evening or spring night. So this is one that is fresh, it is clean. It definitely has a nice juicy sparkly grapefruit tone to my nose. A nice clean musk. This stuff is really nice, classy, a little up tempo from your norm, especially from the designer world. And this is just good stuff. From the house of Bion, I think this is a really good choice for a springtime date night. From the house of Bion, we have Bion Eclap EDP. Good stuff. Good stuff. Up next, man, we got a classic. Now, I feel and I believe this will still work. From the house of Chanel, we have Chanel Allure Homme. Chanel Allure Homme. There it is, the OG. Look at that dent. This is the original DNA. And you get peach and florals and vanilla. It still smells great to me. Now, I know the conversation, oh, it's been reformulated, it don't last. Well, how long you think you're gonna be on a date? If you're gonna be on a date for longer than 5 hours, then okay. But normally date nights are around that maybe 3 to 5 hour range, or maybe a normal date night, or even less than that. If it's a first date, it might be a couple of hours. But for me and my wife, we've been together for a while now, so we're really hanging, but 3 to 5 hours. This will just work. Very pleasant, very easy going. The citruses, the citrus fruity tone, the floral touch. There's a nice underlying musk and clean musk feel in here to my nose. This is just a classic, and I just think that it still works, and I think it can work for sure. From the house of Chanel, we have Chanel's Allure Homme. I know Allure Homme Sport and all the other Chanels get love, but let's not forget about the original for sure. All right, up next, if you want a heavier profile, a more, maybe almost it's almost erotic. It's almost an erotic style of DNA in my opinion. This stuff is good. From the house of Rochas, we have Rochas Mustache EDP. Now this is said to be a clone of YSL's Tuxedo, and there are definitely some big time similarities there. But in my opinion, this starts to kind of do its own thing after the opening. The rolls and the benzoin in here really stand out. They really come to the head of the top of the ladder, so to speak, of this fragrance. And the rolls and the benzoin, it's just nice, and it's a sexy scent. I remember the first time that I wore this and I passed my wife. I think we were going out for lunch or something like that during the spring. I've had this for a couple of years now. She complimented me from the house to the garage into the car and on our way. This is definitely a really, really nice scent. One of the best purchases in my collection for 35 to 40 bucks, how I caught it for. The value of this is much higher than that. But with it being in the same conversation of Tuxedo, which I agree with, this does do its own thing with the rolls and the benzoin collaboration here. It's really nice. The benzoin really overrides the rolls at some point. So all my guys out there who are kind of, you know, weary of rolls, I think you can be comfortable with this for sure. This is good stuff. Great for a spring date night for sure. From the house of Rochas, whichever way you want to go. We got Mustache the EDP. Haven't worn this in a while, man. I need to get back to it. I've worn it a lot now. I see that denim now. So this stuff is good. All right, 2 more left to discuss. Up next, this has become my favorite of the 2 versions, but this representation of this DNA is awesome. From the house of Nishan Anie, we have Anie X. Anie X. The original Anie really blew up in the fragrance world. Great vanilla fragrance. But I love the freshness of this. I love the addition of that melon tone that you get in the opening. Fruity, almost slightly watery type of like fruit basket, like tropical, almost in the initial opening. It doesn't stay long, but in the initial opening. But then the vanilla and everything else starts to take over. It gets warm. It don't get as warm as the original, but this stuff is awesome. Doing a springtime date night, you're definitely going to hit. You kind of get this, especially once you get towards the dry down, like this warm sugar cookie like aroma. Let's say you're in your bedroom, but your kitchen is way up front, but you get like this sugar cookie aroma from across the house. Well, that's how it hits it here. It's not in your face. It's not kicking you in your face. It's not overwhelming. It's like it's just floating like underneath in passing. All right, but vanilla style fragrance, a lot of freshness in here as well. I believe the note is like a melon. I think it is a melon or honeydew. It's one of those 2 notes that's really freshening up this fragrance, and it's really good. Great for the springtime. Very sexy fragrance for sure. From the house of Nishan Anie, we have Anie X. Anie X. Again, I prefer this over the original. You can wear this a little bit more year round for sure as well. All right, and last but not least, from the house of Alexandria Fragrances, we have Better Peach. Better Peach. This is inspired by a fragrance from Tom Ford's Bitter Peach, and I like this more. Why is that? You get this ripe, fruity, juicy peach, ready to go, right? And you drop a bottle of rum, and then you squeeze honey on top of that. That's what you get. The rum comes off really boozy, really rich, has a sweetness to it, collaborating with that peach. Oh, it's just stellar. It gives off this honey type of feel. This lasts much longer, performs way better than the original Tom Ford Bitter Peach, which is really good. But I took a shot with Alexandria and I ordered Better Peach. It's been sitting for quite some time, so it's macerated beautifully. I've worn this out a few times and it is just good. And for a springtime date night, in the evening, The temperatures are a little chill. It's not cold, but it's a little chill. You're having an intimate setting. A couple of sprays of this, you are going to be intoxicating. This DNA is going to be intoxicating. So this is good. I like it better than the original. Don't sue me. Preference, personal preference, subjectivity, y'all know the deal. But this is like that. From the House of Alexandria Fragrances, for a great springtime date night option, we have Better Peach. They killed this. They killed this for sure. All right. All right, Smell Good family. So that's going to wrap up the 8 recommendations. Wrap up the 8 recommendations that I have for springtime date night options. Got some really stellar, great options here in my opinion. All right, but let me know down below in the comments, what are some of your options for springtime date night in those evenings going into the night? What are some of the fragrances that you guys are wearing and experiencing? And let's talk about it down below in the comments for sure. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I definitely appreciate all the support. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to be the next member of the Smell Good family. You know, and as always, man, positive energy and positive vibes. That's what we roll with here on this channel for sure. All right, so until next time, y'all be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. Enjoy your time with your family and your loved ones. Enjoy life. It is so precious, and that's for sure. All right, so splack it up, splack it down, splack it that thing all around. And remember, what you put out into this world is exactly what you are going to get back. That's fact. We got the documents coming soon. Breaking news. Keep watching for sure. Splack.